shortly. Lucky Play winning their quarterfinal match also in 2-0. So we'll see with the Deers, who it took a bit of effort for them to get through the home field criminals. Well, we should have a very nice match coming up for us shortly.
Let's have a look if we already have a match, like a coin flip going on here. Yeah, we do. All right, so map bans have already started. Lucky Play gets to go for the map pick, and that means that the Deers have the first pick. Lucky Play has banned out Garden of Terror and Dragonshire. And in response, Deers are banning out Sky Temple and Volskaya Foundry.
How much do you know about these two teams? Did you happen to play any of them during your season?
I did not play Deers. I did play Lucky Play. Yeah. Um, what
Anything
do
we
I
should know about
know?
them? Any interesting one tricks that they have?
They don't. No. I wouldn't say there's a particular one trick to look out for. They're very wide hero pools, if anything. Um, yeah, just like the thing is, you see Lucky Plays banning out Dragonshire, they're banning out Guard of Terror. They do really like team fighting, Lucky Play. They also just build their com around like a nice wombo combo that they can use in team fights. And Deers, I haven't watched too much. But yeah. So maybe we can have a look at the stats for Lucky, the captain of Lucky Play. Very fitful.
Naming a team after yourself does show quite a little bit of confidence. I do have to respect this move by Lucky, and now he and his team going into our
All right, there we
semi-finals.
have it. And as I said, it's yeah, he plays a lot of damage dealers. His Maiev is very powerful. I've seen him do some very nice plays on that Maiev. One of them was even mentioned in the clips that were shown during the draw show. Sylvanas, and I have played against his Liming firsthand. That was not a pleasure either. So I would say he's definitely a player to look out for.
As you said, this is very varied hero pool we have here. Maya Savannah's and the very different heroes, so Lucky showing that he's quite flexible in this assassin role, able to do whatever it is that his team will require of him. And our first game is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked by Lucky Play.
Yeah. So Tomb of the Spider Queen is a map that requires a lot of rotations. Wave clear is important here. So is there any heroes that you personally favor for this?
You can have all sorts of picks on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's a very interesting map. There are lots of off-meta picks that you can go for. If you do watch small, you might see my team Hype Pew Pew play some of them. Won't go into too many details though, but as far as the more normal picks go, we do like to see, as you say, the wave clear. Zul, as he is left open through the bans, is the absolute king of this map. Able to just clear so easily. And then if you want to have your tank sit back and defend against the skeletons, they will now, of course, explode thanks to the Zul rework, dealing a little annoying bit of damage. Zul, though, absolutely uncontested as far as the wave clear goes, assuming he is, of course, able to get onto the wave, use his cursed strikes on the wave. If you have a good wave clears, of course, the mages, you can Kale fast for Gul'dan, possibly. Not many players tend to play those picks, though, so might not be likely. As far as on the front line, though, Johanna is easily the wave clear tank of choice. For Condemn, you can go for the cooldown reduction level 4 to get all Condemns off. Absolutely brilliant. But other than that, you can just look for meta picks. You can look for your usual suspects as far as the offlane and the DPS goes. You can play honestly whatever you want as long as you're comfortable on it. That's the nice thing about this map. So we'll see if these teams have any interesting picks prepared for our series here, because now would be an excellent time to bring them out on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
But we are handing over to other casters here. I have just received. Oh, they are casting in Finnish. And where are they casting in Finnish?
We do have a Finnish cast going on apparently.
We have Finnish casters apparently in this lobby as well. Oh yeah, of course. Meridon and Sebis are Finnish, and they are casting in.
I am not finished unless I check either, so we will be continuing here on the English cast. No need to worry about that. We go as soon as the final player joins the lobby. Just waiting on Lucky himself, actually, I believe. Just looking at who we have so far in the lobby. Got a little bit scared for a second when I saw in the chat that there were more casters coming in, so I was about to lose my spot. No, we are going to be just fine as soon as our... No, Josh, that's not you. You're still very much ready to go casting whenever you so desire. We are having some Finnish casters. And I don't know what stream they're on, but hope they're having a good old time over there in the Finnish stream. Just waiting now. Where is Lucky? We're waiting on
Oh, there he is.
Team after him. There he is. Fashionably late, of course, is Lucky. And we should be ready to get underway nice and shortly. JoyK, were you watching the earlier series between the Deers and the Hong News Criminals?
I was, actually.
What did you think of it? Because that game, that was our only one that I saw that went to 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, that was a incredibly close game. Like, it was going up and down. Like, the whole series was, I was like watching it. I was like, oh my God, are they actually turning it around? They turned it around in the second game. And then the third game, I was like, they can still win it though. But then they had a few, like a few kills. Like, honestly, the Stitches won them the game, I'd have to say. Like, he landed all the hooks and he secured the kills that actually allowed them to end the game. If anyone was to thank for them being in this game right now, then that's the Stitches player.
Absolutely, Sophia putting on a clinic as soon as he got his fishing hook. Some of the early game hooks fell a little bit short, but once he had the fishing hook, he was able to absolutely clean up the Honk Goose Criminals. And now, coming into the draft, which should be starting up right about now, I would be very interested to see what happens with Arla, because Puwaki got to play all 3 games in the previous series and looking pretty good on the hero. So we are going to see what happens. Of course, the Deers are the first pick, so if they really wanted, they could secure the Arla straight away if it's not banned. And now into the draft. Again, apologies for the wait, just waiting on good old Lucky to show up, and Lucky not going to be able to play right here, but will be first banned by the side of Deers.
I mean, this is a really good map for Maiev. I do wonder if they're opting to go for Azul here, possibly. They do have the first pick. They choose to ban out the Maiev. Not that that's a particular counter, but of course, you know, if you can ban out some comforts on the side of the enemy team, you don't have to waste a ban on that. And you can pick up something that is especially good right now.
There are quite a few picks that are especially good right now. As mentioned, Zul is the current king of the game, and I would hope that the start of Lucky Boy bans him out, because if not, they're in for some trouble. Actually, no, the Deer's going to ban out Zul, possibly showing that they're not ready to play the hero. We saw that they never played it in the series with the Hong Goose Criminals. They played against it twice, but now banning it out, so going to first pick Johanna, another hero we talked about. Johanna with so much wave clearance.
So impactful on this map. Possibly the most impactful hero on the map. So yeah, it's a very good first pick. Alright, we see Blaze coming in. Blaze is really popular.
This is a really early Blaze pick, so potentially they're choosing it as a flex pick between the offlane and attack. I don't see why you would just pick it so early if you want to put it in the offlane. Malfurion, the other one being picked up, one of our, again, just if we look at the tier list, Malfurion pretty good. Arna's still an option and possibly about to be picked up, and no! Puwaki will be playing Anduin. This is a hero he played so much during the group stage of the Legendary Club, and Gammon will be playing the KFR. See if we can.
Did they,
You can put a clip of
by
that.
any chance, play the falling sword with light bomb?
I do not know. That is very much an option we have here. That would be an easy way for him to get onto the Malfurion. Of course, not
Absolutely,
having.
that's why I'm saying it.
He doesn't really have a way to get out of it. But Johanna and Anduin, there's one obvious combo that appears, and it is the Falling Sword Light Bomb. We saw that earlier, actually, in the first series of the day. And it didn't go quite so well. They also, it was very interesting, had the Bloodlust for the Johanna, which gave him a little bit of movement speed, but it was not quite enough. Johanna and Anduin to win that game. So Varnes and Reyna will be the final bans by our teams, as now Lucky Play going to pick up 2 more heroes. Most likely, yeah, going to pick up the damage dealers. Leave the question mark still on where this Blaze is going. Greymane and Chromie will pick ups. Chromie seems like a little bit of a self-counter. Anduin has already been taken. Can Leap of Faith anyone else on the Temporal Loop easy peasy, not going to be able to look for those plays, but Chromie's still a very strong pick if you're
Chromie
able
still
to
offers
get...
amazing and pressure, so I think Chromie is still a very valid choice. We see the Rexar coming out and the Lunara. Yeah, Lunara, good pick, but into Malfurion. Malf, overall, very good sustained healer, has AoE healing available. Now, Benzo is the last one to pick here, and I know Benzo actually plays an amazing Blaze, but he picks up the ETC, so I am expecting to see a swap here from Vladik swapping to the ETC, yeah, and Benzo swapping to the Blaze, and I'm absolutely right.
That is indeed what we see. It will be Benzo playing his favorite, the Blaze. Now, this Lunara pick I find quite interesting because we saw it earlier, like John in the previous season, and I'm hoping he does not go for the same talent build because I found some of his choices very strange, not able to quite do as much as he might have wanted to, but Lunara does of course have the built-in Unstoppable through the Leaping Strike as a way to get away from the Chromie. Can of course opt into the Spell Shield to make this pick as useless as possible by the side on the red team of the Chromie. We'll see what Zingo is able to do with this hero. I'm not entirely convinced by it. I like what we have from the Deers. What do you think, Joy? Okay, going into game number 1.
I think Rexar is very powerful here. That's the pick that's making me swap around to say, like, yeah, the Deers draft is very good. Like, I was already like, Johanna is the best pick possible for this map, but I think Rexar rounds that off, and then they have 2 very, very strong picks, and I would say, yeah, they would stand most chance of winning here.
Going into game number 1, on the blue team, we have the Deers. It will be Geben on KFAS, Safiro playing the Johanna, my playing Rexar. It's my playing the Rexar, Puoki playing the Anduin, and Lyjon playing Lunara. Who do we have on the red team?
Well, on the red team, we have Lucky Play with Lucky himself on Greymane, Vladik on the ETC, Abels on Malfurion, we have Zinger on Chromie, and in the bottom, we have Benzo Bear on the Blaze.
The Blaze, well, okay, he does choose his talent. I thought it was going to be holding on for the stim pack he chooses, but will be the new habit's going to be getting that nice Unstoppable on the Pyromania. First wave will be cleared out quickly by the blue team. They do have very nice wave clear between this Johanna and Kael'thas, just murdering these minions, as you can see here. Able to move so quickly between the lanes, able to take the central rotation.
Yeah, they're going to get a really quick lead in the rotation here.
They have the option of denying this rotation here. Johanna takes a bit of a side and will be able to do so, and in the meantime, just Gambit instantly murders this wave. So far ahead now on the clear. Already are the Deers. Vladik taking a bit of damage, will be rooted by the Anduin.
And the Gravity Labs, this is so much CC.
Will be able to walk it out, has to tap the well though. Gabba flame striking the last of those minions, and the wave clear all even out. Vladik sitting on the top line at the moment, doesn't want to move down into the middle. We might just see a split rotation, but no. Just backing away is the side of Lucky Play, deciding that they're able to contest an early game of the Deers, and this is huge. It means that Kelfast has free access to these Legion globes. What we could be seeing is if they slow down actually a little bit on clear, let the mage minion die, Kelfast able to pick up even more of those Legion globes if they so desire. As a response for Lucky deciding that since they're not able to contest the wave clear, he will go and pick up the siege cap. Benzo barely getting away now. We'll have to tap Recall even. As Legion comes down to deal some damage on Villanara. Lucky now leaving the bot lane though. This is going to be an XP lost if cleared out quickly by the side of me. Lucky now very deep on the Grey Mane, taking so much damage.
Yeah,
he is going to fall and be the first blood of the game. Gavin now pretty far in front, but he's going to be just fine. No real damage to him. Now that Grey Mane is fallen. Vladik eating another anger, and it's going to be...
Oh, it's a nice route though from Malfurion, but the power side does not connect.
And nothing more is really going to come of it. Just a one kill of Lucky, giving even more control of the early game over to the side of Deer. You can just see the wave clear so easily. All it takes is Johanna and Kael'thas, so now and defeated to whatever they want, and Ignawitch. Going for the route onto Vladik, but not quite able to find it this time. Gibbon handing in more of his gems, and very close to handing now. Armadiers, whose camp picked up by...
Oh, that might have been a little bit over.
Lucky going incredibly deep.
Already popping out.
Nothing more will be coming off this play though. So.
And there comes a slide, but no route available from Abels. Abels also pretty low on mana. Vladik has to run back here. Has Lunara on his tail.
Now with priority in the mid lane is the side of Lucky Play, but they do not. Okay, they now have enough gems to hand in. Not doing so though. Instead. Gavin,
oh my god,
what are
Lucky
you doing, buddy?
Kill there.
Barely survives. And now looking to push down this middle wave possibly with their priority. Not be able to get too much though. Benzo taking quite a bit of damage. Will be able to walk it out. Abal's going for the reset and the first objective going over to the Deers. Now, just returning his first side. Oh, that's not where you want to be.
Down the drain.
Able to recover most of them, but losing one of your DPS is not what you want when the enemy team is about to push in with the objective. Now, slide onto the Lunara, rooted by Malfurion, and Nijon so far out. Malfurion finishing it off. The level 1 talent, the Celestial Alignment coming in clutch. Very nearly getting out though, but it will be the return kill for Lucky Play. Now, the top spiders are clearing out the wall. The gravity lapse onto Vladik. He won't be able to do anything more. Spider is going to get roughly a third of the top fort. Middle pretty well defended. Bottom looking pretty healthy as well. Benzo able to clear that out against the next one. Just fine. Misha not looking too healthy. This is not how you want to treat your animals, ladies and gentlemen. So low is the Misha. No mana to heal her up either by Rexar.
Benzo lucky getting out of the skin of his teeth here. 21 gems, still suffering from the poison damage, but does get to back here. They really have no way of turning in. The Deers are simply not allowing it.
And level 8 now has been achieved by the Kobe. Not yet gone for Temporal Loop, and this Temporal Loop, I'm not sure if this is the pick you want to go for, because as I mentioned before, the Jaffa have so many ways to deal with it. We have 2 heroes just with Unstoppable in their kits. As soon, of course, as Sunara hits the level 10 and Andrew able to save everyone else that isn't himself. So as long as he plays nice and safe and doesn't get loops into a bad place, they should be able to deal with the Screaming just fine.
Yeah, the
for the hand
cooldown of
then.
Temporal Loop is 50 seconds, and the cooldown of Leap of Faith is definitely over 80.
And now Leap onto Lunara will be able to jump back to safety. Now the Flame Strike onto Vladik, he's barely got to walk it out. Lucky will not be
Kel'Thas
quite
OP,
so
man.
lucky.
Kel'Thas is OP.
Kel'Thas OP is Spencer now the next on to feel the wrath of the Fire Mage, and he drops 25 gems. And these will not be recovered. A huge loss for Lucky Play. They were at least able to hand in some of their gems and get the first objective, but really well played by the Gears, able to find that pick onto the offlaner. And such a lead now in the objective for them. They are very close to getting their second, and Lucky Play not quite so lucky. We do see now Blaze has not yet chosen his hero, potentially holding out on a cheeky combustion play. Will actually be picked up. Going to see combustion coming out here. The damage quite strong if he's able to find the people inside of it, then that might prove quite difficult. We will see what comes of it. Quite bold, not taking the bunker. It does, of course, have a built-in cleanse to it and would remove Lunara poisons as soon as his team jumps on in and out of it, but that is not the choice that we see. Chromie now level 11, got the ever annoying timeout. Will be a lot more frustrating. Probably not going to see her get caught out again like we saw earlier. And Benzo, another play potentially being made onto him. No, leaping, striking in, but not much more will come of it. Now with the bruises in the middle lane, they have enough
big body blocks coming out here from Johanna. Is bodying Lucky. Nice three-man blessed shield. But is anyone going to follow up here on the Johanna? They jump onto Vladik and Vladik falls.
We see the combustion coming out, doing quite a lot of damage to the side of the Deers, but it is not enough to get the kill. 2 now falling. Making a third Malfurion. Too far forward, will be hit by the Chastise of Anduin. And 3 kills now. Only 2 members left to try and defend these spiders, and it's going to be pretty rough, I imagine. Pushing now onto the mid four. Top isn't doing much better. Exile pushing out, with of course Misha, onto the bottom side. This might just be all the forts falling for Lucky Play.
Yeah, that's a nice level 13 advantage here for the Deers. They're surely also going to take the bottom fort. This whole fort's gone, actually. And they are making their move to the bottom lane, but Benzo already had that scouted out, moves back a bit. So Bruiser Camp will be available, and they do have the talent here. Now, would you make the call if you were in Deers? Would you make the call to go for the Bruiser Camp? Or is that too risky?
It's looking very good at the moment, but we're not even ready for the Bruiser Camp yet, though, because the spider is still alive on the bottom side. Looks like Misha is going to fall down. This is absolutely terrible. We cannot have this. Black now potentially on the flank if the side of the Deers do stay around.
Oh,
going for the side, not able to find
anything. That's a lot of damage though that he's taking. Really has to be careful. Lunara goes in, gets jumped. There comes Temporal Loop, but can they do anything? Johanna eats the damage. Benzo Berry in the back with the combustion, but falls by himself, and that is the backline of the Lucky Play retreating already.
Not quite what they were looking for, I think. The frontline just gets murdered. As soon as Vladik missed the side, he took so much return damage by the Kel'Thas and Lunara. Now, going for the boss other side of the Deers, this is completely safe. There's no frontline to contest the point when the boss falls. Not going to be seeing any boss throws, I would imagine, in this game. 2 levels up, and it's only going to get worse now for Lucky Play as the game goes on. We have a bit of an interesting talent here. We have the Unfettered Assault taken by Lucky, just looking to try and stick onto the really pesky Lunara who keeps jumping all over the place, but so far not really able to see the impact on the Talons because not really had a fair fight to go for, and we might not have any fair fights. It's level 16 hit by the Deers now as they're moving on to this top keep.
Yeah, this is really not looking good for a Lucky Play. They do have some good poke to poke this boss down, but still 2 talents and a talent tier down is a tough defense. Phoenix does great zoning, and in comes Johanna with the 3-man Blessed Shield. Can Alo save anyone here?
It's a really
The ulti
nice
from
play
Anduin is
by
big, and they retreat. The boss goes down, and the keep seems to be saved. Vladik goes forward, gets a mosh pit, but gets punished for that straight away. Lucky in the backline trying to get onto Leo and Ellie, but falls as well.
the loop. Oh, Vladik went too far forward in the backside. They wanted to go into Mai with the temple loop, but it was not to be. It will be 2 for 0 again for the DS. Chloe does some damage. Gavin taking a lot of damage as he makes his way out. Nothing more will come of this, and it will be the keep. As the Deers fall back to defend the remains of this Bruiser camp, and the pressure is not about to be let up though. No 16 yet for Lucky Play as another objective is coming up. The Bruisers will not be taken though. Gavin not quite able to start them in time, so that's a small respite for the side of Lucky Play, but they will not be able to get 16 for this defense as the Spiders are about to come in. Bottom lane not quite pushed out fully. The XR are going to help make sure that's the case. Now looking to march down the mid lane and get another keep for themselves are the Deers. Currently it's just Johanna though, possibly going to be looking for a play on the bottom side instead.
Yeah, I mean, bottom side is already open, so I would say that would be the keep to go for. And it seems that they think the exact same.
Now with the exhibition still not 16, just picking up now is the side of Lucky Play, but this keep is already too far gone. There's nothing to save here, and we might see a little bit of a call here. 2 levels up are the Deers, and they're looking to end this game here. We've got the top Spiders coming in too.
Are the death timers long enough is the question that I'm asking myself. People are taking damage here. Phoenix has already been popped. Are we seeing a counter engage here? Benzo mounts up and tries to walk forward, but Misha is still trying to zone everybody off. Is maybe going to stun Benzo here?
Looks like Misha is going to be the current target, going to just barely full blaze, getting one last attack off to kill the bear. And that was the fight that Lucky Play had to look for. It'll possibly the last time they're going to be on even talent tiers when there's something up for the Deers to look to contest. Now, Lucky Play with enough gem scare turn in, but we'll see if they're able to. Benzo looking for a sneaky play on the bottom point, might just be collapsed on though. Ah, no, the Deers just letting it be as they.
And they do get the turn in, okay, but they do immediately get engaged on. And there comes the combustion. Big salvation from Anduin. Very, very big. Really well played. They, of course, barely have any interrupts if either the Blaze or ETC don't have their stun up. Benzo now gets locked down. Does he have what it takes to get out? Yes, he does.
Absolutely. Benzo going to be just fine. He's got the Juggernaut plating. Vladik, though, not so fortunate. Absolutely deleted.
See or Crony for that. Very well played here by Deers. Looking to get more and more kills, and that nullifies his objective, and I would say that could be a call to end here.
3 kills now for the Deers. Benzo, he's got Jungle plating up, trying to walk it out, but it looks like he's going to be so fortunate. A 4th kill now for the Lunaran. Moving their way with the siege count to end the game are the Deers, and it should be quite easy to, unless this Druid has something to say about it, but Abol's just hiding in the Hall of Storm, doesn't want to die, wants to preserve his KDA. As we move on to game number 2, the Deers will be able to take this first game, and 60 minutes is pretty good time, and it looked like they were in control for the entire thing. from the very start, we saw they were clearing out the waves so quickly
They were,
with the
yeah.
Johanna and Kael'thas, and
I
no
mean, they
real
did play their
counterplay
draft.
made.
They just played their draft so well.
Their draft was really nice. They had so much control of waves. The wave clear difference absolutely enormous, and Lucky Play not really getting any swing of their own. It was not very nice for them. So we're going to have to see something quite a bit different in game number 2, because otherwise we might just be having ourselves another 2-0 here by the Deers. I have to agree with what we have in chat. But Andrew, absolutely the MVP of that game. The last salvation in particular was absolutely huge, able to save his team from everything that was tried by Lucky Play. Not going to see the Light Bomb Falling Sword combo just yet, though.
No, sadly we did not see that, but you know, it could have been. Don't let your memes.
We still have one game left to play, of course. In the series, of course, we might have a second one should Lucky Play be able to find the win here in game number 2. Still considering whether they want to have the map or the ban. Of course, losing the first game, they get the choice of it. And what would you like to see come out from Lucky Play in game number 2? Because clearly something has to change, because otherwise we must have a repeat of game number 1.
Yeah. I would like to see Infernal Shrines actually coming for them.
Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, Infernal Shrines. Not even going to lie, I think it's their best map, but they play it very well. But we will see. We will find out. And they are opting for the first pick, so that means that the Deers get have a map pick. So maybe we'll go to Shrines. It's still open, but you know, we might see something completely else.
It's still open, but we might just see a similar early game focus from the Deers. I'm going to guess that Towers of Doom is possibly the map choice of them. They can play it very similar to how they played Tomb of the Spider Queen just now. Go for another focus on the macro, on the wave clear, and just choke Lucky Play out of the game entirely. And they're shown they're able to do so. We will see what their choice is. Still considering, it looks like what map they want to play on, though.
Yeah, there is typing happening. We're not seeing much yet.
So still having a little bit of thinking about what's going on. He's typing in the Discord and hasn't made up his decision yet. Still figuring out what happened here. We're going to have a look at Rocky, who had an absolutely great game last time on Anduin. You can see here his Anduin and Ana, we've seen these so far from him today, and these are his 2 favorite picks. The third one is the Oriole, and possibly going to see it come out if we see a bit of focus on him into the draft by Lucky Play. Now it will be Battlefield of Eternity as the map choice by the Deers. This is a very early, another one of these early maps. It's not quite what we saw from the previous game, though. We saw a lot of the macro focus on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now a lot more of a skirmishy map. We'll see if they have anything in store for us on this one. Maybe we could be seeing some Oriole shenanigans, though, from Palocky. This would be an excellent map for it.
Who knows? Maybe Oriole is particularly good on this map.
Now, just waiting for teams to get into the lobby. So we're going to go on for a little bit longer. I'm not sure what I really want to see from a Lucky Play, though. We'll see if Lucky has any interesting pocket picks for us. We know that he plays a wide variety of heroes. Last time, all the very conventional grade main pick, but might need to see something a little bit more interesting to keep them in the Legendary Cup, because one more loss, sorry, and they are going to be out of the series.
That is true. Well, maybe we could see Li Ming. We could maybe see Sylvanas. They were amongst his top heroes, so you'll never know.
Sylvanas was taken away in the bans, if I remember correctly, last game. And Sylvanas would be an interesting pick if they were to get the lead in the early game with Sylvanas just able to push down the turrets easy peasy with the Immortal, should they get it. That would be one thing we could see from them in order to turn this series around, but the Deers, we've seen them be so strong in these team fights in their previous series, so they might just want to take the fight to them in this game, go for something a little bit different from game number 1.
Could
Of
be.
course, after this series, we do have the grand finals of the Legendary Cup. We've seen Don Alphadoras qualify for it in the previous series, as they will be going up against the winner of this one. As you saw, it was a 2-0 by them as they moved to grand finals. Currently, the Deers up 1-0 in the other best-of-3 semi-final. We'll see if they are able to close it out once we get everyone in. Team Lucky, again, looking to be fashionably late, we'll call it, as they are making their way into the by 1. And we should be ready to get started on our next game very shortly.
Mm-hmm. So is there any heroes in particular you would like to see in this map?
I'm not too familiar with the teams, unfortunately, so I'm not sure if they're willing to play it, but Alarak is a very fun one on this map. He has a very annoying early game. In the 4-man bot lane, you can see him do some very spicy plays with pull-in, with the combo. Also, being 4 heroes in one lane makes it nice and easy for him to finish his level 1 quest, should he opt into it, able to possibly get the triple hit. And then in around level 4, he can opt in for either the Show of Force or the Q build to get the Discord Strike damage going, able to go for some more of the early game talents on the hero, quite flexible in that way. It doesn't have to go for the late game scaling pick of the E build. Some other picks we can see, we do like out to see our immortal damage heroes on this map can go for the usual suspects, the Vayne, the Hanzo. Don't have to though. Zul'jin does an incredible amount of single target damage. If you're willing to play such a late game focused hero on what is generally a map where it's very important to have a nice early game. And Lucky is disconnected from the lobby. We'll see what ends up happening here. Phoenix will be subbing in the side of Lucky as he now returns to the lobby again, fashionably late. And seeing the substitution, so maybe we are going to be seeing the more interesting picks coming out from him. Maybe he's got something prepared for us. We will see though, because the teams are finally ready, and we should be ready to go into the draft very shortly. Thank you for bearing with us as we wait for our teams to get in, and we'll see what ends up coming of the draft here, as we are approaching 5:30 in the morning. Very well, it's so late, it's early at this point. We might see the sun coming out my window by the time we finish this series if we go to game number 3.
All right, and there we go. Battlefield of Eternity.
Looks like we're finally ready to go. I am still actually in the lobby, so the draft won't be starting for a few seconds. That's just the way things are. Bit of a slow connection as finally in the game. The draft should be starting up nice and shortly. Lucky play this time they chose the first pick after losing the previous game. And we will see what does they want to go for. Maybe they have something they want to first pick in particular. We did see them sub some in Phoenix, so maybe just gonna want to go for a stronger first pick. Galish will be the band, they're not gonna be having that one available for the Deers to go for. I do want to see though if we're gonna see some support focus by Lucky Play. We've seen Polaki play so well these last few games on depending on whether he chooses to Arnold or Viandra. See what he gets this game as. There will be Deathwing. By the way, we've got frontline focus by both of the teams. See if another tank gets banned away here by the Deers. Now just a few seconds left on this final ban by the Deers, and it will be Greymane. Lucky Ghost have to play a different hero this time, banning away some of Full Burst.
Plenty of other options open, and now this leaves the Maiev open. I wonder if they will actually pick it up.
Maiev, not a hero you always see on Battlefield of Eternity, but you, of course, not having the best damage on the Immortal, but can be very nice to get the game off to a very strong start, and will be Rexar locked away for the side of Lucky Play, deciding that was the problem, and this was what I'm somewhat afraid of. Randomly Ming locked in immediately by the Deers, Procky getting one of his favorites and leaving it very nice on this map as we saw previously. Now, what are we going to see here by the side of Lucky Play? There has been a large amount of focus on the front line in the ban, so maybe he wants to pick up a tank here. Zalek will go back to ETC, and oh, this is a very interesting support pick. Ronda. Not someone you see too much these days, but I think is criminally underrated actually. Abel's going to be hopping on to
I'm going to have to completely agree with you on that one. People who know me, they know that I would very, very much agree with that. I do like the combo here, Tyrande adding up to the stun chain of Rexar and ET. But yeah, she might have a hard time into Ana with the minus grenades.
Maiev will be banned away, as well as the Malfail by the side of Lucky Play. Getting after some of these favorite heroes. Lucky, of course, loves to play the Maiev, and it would have been really nice with the current setup they have in the bot lane already with so much card control, and this Lunara pick is really nice, and because of it, just able to jump away from any potential CC chains for ETC and Toronto to be doing. Now we need to see two damage dealers, most likely by the side of Lucky Play here, and final pick, see what they want to go for. There are quite a few off-meta picks you could potentially look for, but...
Right, we do see the Sylvanas and the Vala. I was expecting the Vala to come out here, but I was somewhat also expecting Hanzo to come out from Phoenix. He played it before when he subbed for this team. Yeah, I do think the Lunara is really, really nice in both of these picks and is really good in pressuring the support. And of course, has good race for this map. So yeah.
Now I do want to see early. Yes, this is what I want. Early game pick in the Alarak. Laying down the gauntlet now is me. And Lucky Play, they have to get ahead in the early game because otherwise they are going to fall so far behind. Superior scaling for the draft is very much on the side of the Deers. We need to see, well, we almost have to see the first 4 to the Sylvanas and the Roller push if we want to see this be even a close game, because the draft of the Deers is so strong.
Yeah, it's really strong.
If the game is to keep going, the Alarak for the Nara. You have Ana Ming at level 20 with a nano transfusion. That Li Ming is almost unkillable. We've seen what level 20 Li Mings can do earlier in the semifinals. For Doris putting on a clinic in their first game with that pick. It looks like it will be an an Alarak in the offlane, which is losing a little bit of the
Could
hero's
be, but you have
potential.
to think potentially Lunara also could lane. So we shall see.
That's also an option that Nala can just cast around, should be ever so annoying on that pick. We might get some insight on this based on what Alarak's Winged Guard is not bugged, by the way, team. So power referee tells these guys that, because that would be quite a nice talent. We did see in the last balance pouch, Rexar got a little bit more attack damage, so being able to block that would be rather nice for them. And Alec has not yet chosen his level, but as he said, it is for Lunala going to be in the top lane. Alec will be taking the ruthless momentum. They just want to get some early game picks with some telekinesis into Li Ming damage, and this is very aggressive starting off already. Onto Vladik, takes a little bit of damage, but to under one of your favorite heroes, of course, going to be able to heal that up, no problem.
Yeah, she's only slightly my favorite.
Only slightly. And Phoenix now, a bit of damage.
Okay, Mai doing a really good job actually body blocking Vladik, slides forward and then gets to walk backwards.
It is a little bit interesting that as Mai is now on the Mal'Ganis, Saphiro swapping off the tank duties this game in order to play the Alarak. I'm very happy to see Alarak return to...
Goes in. Alarak does get the minus armor, but Ana doing one hell of a job actually keeping him alive. Very well played here by Poki.
Very aggressive start by the two teams. Now the red team backing off don't quite have control of the minion wave. Gavin doing a good job pushing it in, and Phoenix will be able to tap the well. We're able to heal up just fine. As he said, Saphira getting very low, just getting taken down with Vida. Hard to smack damage reduction, but lives to High Lord another day. Black now seems to be the focus. In the top side, we're seeing quite a lot of damage going onto Nala. Will be taken down quite low, having already, I believe, tapped the healing well. Doesn't have too much left to go. We've seen that Lyjon likes to take the siphoning toxin as his own full talent, and whilst talent not DTC falling.
Yeah, and that was the first blood going down in the bot lane. Vladik eventually falling and granting Li Ming her reset.
Now moving away onto the bottom siege camp is the side of the Deers. So I'm going to get a little bit of style, but too much more will come with it. Anyway, so Siphoning Toxin, not a talent I know like, but if you're playing Lunara in the off lane, that extra sustain can be so annoying. You can see here, he's just healing up easy peasy, gets himself the regen globe as well, just for good measure. And this Lunara is going to be such a pain for the Rexar to deal with for the time being. We do see, as I mentioned earlier, the Chaos Reigns from Alarak going for potentially very strong early game power spike if he's able to make the big plays and hit multiple heroes with the Discord Strike. But he's going to jump away on the Sylvanas, going to be just fine for now. As we move into the first immortal phase.
Cruiser camp really needs to be cleaned out here. Rexar is getting a bit of prio top here with Lunara being alone to clear out this cruiser camp. She did put some damage onto the Immortal and then walked back to clean out the camp. I think that is the right call to make here.
Interesting though that Rexar decides he wants to push with his cruiser camp instead of looking to make a rotation. Now Lunara has moved on to Immortal, going to need to go back now and pick up the wave. Not too much happening so far. Side now onto Alarak, gets hit by the Toronto and will be able to barely get away. Lucky going pretty deep to try and get that kill, but nothing will come of it. And now moving away down the offlane is Northstar. Sephiroth looking to get Misha underneath it. We'll be able to find
are they gonna get Vladik as well though?
Gavin
Nice
with the
stun to try and
resets
disengage.
looking to get.
Tron looking a little bit exposed here. Not sure if Sleep Dart is available, but it was, yeah. Still,
Okay,
everyone gets to disengage on the side of the red team.
I'll get us very low on mana and doing too much better in the health department. He's going to need to go attack the well. He had the opportunity to, but instead wanting to position up to protect his team. Now going the base will go the way of Diaz in the first half, potentially just going to see that burst down in order. Now we do see a level 7 picked up first for Lucky Play. Maybe they can go for a team fight in the short window they have here. Now going on to the Alak takes so much damage.
Oh, big sleep here by Porky. Does she get out? Gets stunned and also falls. Okay, Lucky Play. That's it. Really nice. Confirmed their level 7 and confirmed 2 kills.
Really nice play by them, using their small window in order to get the double kill. Now Lucky and Phoenix bursting down this Immortal. There's no Ana, there's no healer for the side of Diaz. Looks like they won't be able to contest it. First objective, as we wanted, going over to Lucky Play and see how much they can do. Now looking to fight over these regen rods.
Yeah. Now
they
should just back out. I mean, there's no reason to fight over this region globes. Maybe only for Rexar, but
they do find through Nala kill though, and this is very interesting. Gibson opting into the Beaker build, looking to get as much single target damage as he can. This means he's a lot less reliable as far as cleaning up teamfights go should he get the resets, but
that is true.
If they're able to pull someone in with the Alak, they will be able to get all the damage on top of them that they can get. Means we can have some very interesting talents in the later tiers as well, but for now, on to Alak. And they will be able to actually pick up the first fort, so this is what...
Oh, Benzo. Nice job from Vladik here, actually eating that orb so that Benzo gets to walk out. That means that all the members on the side of Lucky Play gets to leave here. Or do they?
Phoenix? Oh, that was like 14 health on the Vala.
Almost jinxed him there.
We almost hit with another caster curse. Phoenix getting away on, I think it was 14 health, taking the full leave-in combo, but not getting auto attacks afterwards, I believe. So not getting the charged blast off. So
yeah,
barely surviving is our Vala player, and level 10 will be picked up soon by Lucky Play. See if they can again use the talent spike in order to get themselves an advantage.
And they just might. We see a rotation coming up top here.
What do you think about the choice of turn? We see Shadowstalk being picked up as the level 10 of choice. Was now able to team
I think Starfall could have been a good choice, considering you're playing into Ana. You're not really going to save anyone with Shadowstalk anyway.
Oh, Gavin. Oh, Gavin gets killed by the Wailing Arrow. Now moving on to the Mal'Ganis.
And there's the Marsh Pit. That's 2 kills. They are immediately accelerating on their level 10, and I really like that.
Vladik playing on that, and this is again another good use of the talent win advantage that they get. Now the Sylvanas coming into her own, easily going to push down the second fort of game, off to an excellent start. Not quite this last game repeating, Lucky Play being a lot more proactive now. And it is the second objective. They will be getting a siege camp before this comes up though, and this is potentially going to be the second. Oh, we can't have that. Respect your bears. We've seen both of our Rexar players so far not to
Phoenix. That was a clutch fault here from Phoenix. Mai looking to disengage with the sleep here. Looks like they're just gonna let him.
Very low health are some of the members now. All the Diaz. Ana doing her best here on that, but Mai just taking so much damage. Oh, a Shadow Dagger going onto him. He's down to about 20% health at the moment. John trying to get some damage on the objective. I'm not going to do too much though, as we can't posture here forever, Diaz. You're going to have to defend the siege camp at some point. We're going to have to see something come out from them. And if they do play slowly, though, we could just see another talent window. Oh, Misha! No! Onto the Immortal stun.
And there's the silence. I mean, ETC is running really low. Big sleep coming out from May here. Pops his ulti. The minus grenade is big. The Lee main kill is bigger though.
Oh, Lucky walks onto the immortal stand and he touched on as well.
Vladik slides in, but oh my god, this is a really risky play, and he falls straight away. Misha is in Africa and needs to come back to defend Raxar.
Oh, so many low health members. Al going for my and will be just fine though. This isn't quite the Al build Thunder. They're just going very aggressive.
Leo tried to 1v1 Vala, and Vala full on took that one. She was like, yeah, sure, I can 1v1 you. All you like.
Phoenix very happy to go for that little bit of harassment. We'll be sending Lunara back to the Hall of Storms. And as such, Lucky Play, the first one's back on the map. 3 members now wailing away at the Immortal. Hunter's back on Toronto, giving them the extra little bit of damage. And the second objective going over to the red team again. This time pushing down onto Keeps already. And this is level 13 Spike, and we've seen Lucky Play use their talent advantages so well so far. We'll see how much they're able to get from this one, and we do see the harsh moonlight coming out from Toronto. No damage sentinel builds coming out here. Instead, reducing the burst that we're going to be having from the Deers.
That is a good choice. Also really controls Alarak a little bit, but adds up to more CC for their team as well. And that's why I think that Starfall would have definitely also been an option in playing into the Alarak.
Oh,
Leo taking a lot of damage, but Misha does.
Phoenix gets the kill actually with his dive in. Gets it with the hunting.
Very impressive, and this suddenly looks like a completely other game, Coffee.
We might just be about to end this game right here. We still have the 13 advantage. We have 1 member down. Might be about to be 2. Alarak getting jumped on.
Oh my god, Phoenix! Absolutely demolishes Sephiroth on the Alarak, and that is the core going down. That is GG to Lucky Play.
This is indeed, it is going to be a tied up series 1-1. Lucky Play, they choose the early game comp and able to execute it, able to snowball this game so well, and I really liked again how they used their advantages. They got, it was roughly 15 seconds they had with the level 7 talent, and they were able to make it work. And they will be bringing us to a game number 3.
Right, well that certainly wasn't what I happened.
I did not see this one coming. I thought that we were going to see the DS go for the 2-0, but no, it will be tied up 1-1. Lucky Play bringing us to game number 3. Now, of course, the choice of first pick or map pick going over to the Deers. And they will be choosing the first pick, so Lucky Play, we can see what map they want to go to this time. Their last choice of the tomb didn't work out so well for them, so we will see where they want to go to. We have 4 maps remaining now. We have Cursed Hollow, Altac Pass, Infernal Shrine, and the Towers of Doom as the last one. I'm sure you want to see us go to Drive. It is, of course, one of your preferred maps.
Yeah, but I would totally be up for Altac Pass or Cursed Hollow as well. I'm just not a big fan of Towers of Doom. Although it would be a very fitting map to close the series on.
Now we do have some stats for Phoenix. Previously playing the Valor, not one of his main 3 though. This is interesting. Tassadar actually one of his top 3 picks so far. Not a hero that we see all too often, and perhaps something a little bit interesting we could see in our third game. Everything is up for grabs now. If we see an interesting pick like the Tassadar come out, if the Deers aren't ready for it, they might just be able to have a repeat of game number 2.
That is the truth indeed. All right, so the Deers are going for the first pick, and that means the Lucky Play get to pick a map. So what would you say is having seen these two games, what is the strongest side of Lucky Play?
Oh, we've seen that if they're able to pick these early game aggressive team comps and actually take the fight to the side of Deers, they know how to play these fights. They play very aggressively, sometimes a little bit too aggressively for their own good, but it's not going to be Skyer as the
No,
map pick.
that one has
That's
been
one.
banned.
That one was banned. We're going to need to see a different map come out. So Lucky Play plays so aggressive. And we've seen that sometimes they go a little bit too far and get themselves killed, but sometimes they're able to win these fights and go the very early win. So I would like to see them go on to Infernal Shrines. The other maps are far, far slower, and we would not be able to see what I think is the strongest form of Lucky Play that we could see.
Yeah, I think we could see Infernal or Cursed coming out. I'm not sure.
And still currently deciding what we want to see from Lucky Play. They were going to go Boss Guy, but of course not available. Had to decide for another map that they want to play on now. Having a little bit of typing now in the
tension rises.
Discord channel, but we don't yet know what map we're going to, as we're going to have to keep on waiting until we get an answer from Lucky as he decides what map to play on. Again, I think that the best map for them stylistically would be Infernal Shrines, but we will see what happens. Okay, good. We do see that Infernal Shrines is the map of choice, and I imagine we're going to see something fairly similar. Lucky Play going to look for another early game broadly sort of team composition and see if they can snowball the game to victory. For Deers, if they go for a similar sort of composition, scaling composition, if they're able to come online. Legion's town choice is too strong for me to come. Not pleased with losing his points in the previous bet. And of course, we'll be playing tomorrow in the winners bracket. Oh, Mr. No Haven for me. But for now, on the series, we see just gotta Kevin not happy that he's going to have to play another game of Infernal Shrines, and we will see.
Then they should have picked the map, but they chose first pick. So...
Well, they had the choice of. I'm very surprised actually they chose. But they did choose the first pick. I would have thought they would have wanted to have taken us to one of the more macro-oriented maps. Towers of Doom, I would have thought would be very strong for them, but they want to go for the first pick, want to dictate the way that the draft goes. And now we really need to see, because Zul is such a strong hero on this map, and being first pick would be a very good time to take him, but so far the Deers have shown they are completely unwilling to play the hero, just banning it out or letting the other team have it. And this could be a problem for them if Lucky Play leave Zul open for them Gauntlet. We might force a blue side Zul ban again, which I think is so strange. He is such a strong hero, you need to be willing to play him in these ever so important games. Looks like our teams are ready to go, as we are almost ready to go into the draft. For game number 3, it's becoming on 6 AM now in Kiwi land, so we will see how much more I can keep up at this. Luckily, this will be my last game. You, of course, will be casting the grand finals coming up after this.
Yes, I will. That I will.
And maybe it's a bit early to tell because we are still going in this series, but how do you think things will go in the grand final?
how do I think things will be going in the grand finals? They will be facing off against Donna Fedoras. Donna Fedoras are a exceptionally strong team. They're very, very, very like one of the oldest lounge teams around, and I think that they will literally give it their all to win this. And I don't know who's going to be facing off against them, but I definitely look forward to the grand finals, and I think it's going to be really close and really high games.
We've seen a bit of a back and forth series so far. In this semi-final, Donna Fedoras fairly convincingly go over 2-0 in their series. So we will see what happens in this third game. It gives a lot of insight into how the grand finals may be going. And I think that the draft is going to be so incredibly important for this game, as we've seen two very different styles from the draft come out, and each team has been we've got a bit of a lobby bug going on. We're not quite able to get into the game just yet.
Not yet.
So the important thing here, and the reason that we might have seen the first pick taken by the Deers is if you have a first pick, you're able to somewhat dictate the way that the draft goes. You can pick a fairly face-up sort of hero as the first pick. Maybe I'm sure maybe we see if we want to go for a bit of an extreme example, Zeratul. Probably not going to see Zeratul first pick. Let's say you were to. You've already decided immediately how the drafts must go. You've given probably the best scale of the game. You're requiring lucky player to draft very specifically in order to counter it. So we can see this sort of impact that the first pick is able to have, and perhaps we're just seeing that the side of the Deers think that Lucky Play were able to dictate the draft too well by getting their Rexar actually, which has been the main contested pick so far between the two teams. So we might see a first pick of the Rexar actually that is left open for Deers.
I mean, the Rexar is hard to beat in the solo lane, so yeah, we could expect the first pick on the Rexar, but I do think that there's also a lot of powerful tanks on this map. Definitely Johanna is also first pick worthy here.
The big question, though, I think is going to be in the shots. What happens with Rexar and what happens because if we don't see one of those two picked if they're open by the side of the Deers, I do have to wonder what they're looking to get from the first pick because...
What about Kel'Thas, who's OP?
Kel'Thas. We saw Gaming do a lot on that in the previous game on Tomb of Spider Queen. Of course, Infinite Shines is a little bit of a different map, but you can still get a lot of value from the AoE clear that Kel'Thas has, should that be left up. Now the first ban, as we are finally into the draft, will be for the Deers. We will see what is that they ought to be banning here. I really hope that we don't see a ban by them. I want to see some confidence on this team, show they're willing to play what is likely the strongest hero at the moment. Sylvanas, this is a nice ban. Try and reduce the possibility of Lucky and Co being able to snowball this game out of control like they did in the previous one. This omnipresent Garrosh ban seems to be still here by the side of Lucky Play. We've seen that Vladik has...
Garrosh. It's better to ban it.
We've seen that Vladik does like to play the ETC, and ETC can struggle against the Garrosh, so this is probably the reason we're seeing it banned so much. See if Vladik opts in for the ETC again now. As we have the second ban, Maev again targeting Lucky, seems to be the key player for this team in the eyes of the Deers, and Deathwing is banned, so now Rexar's open, Zul's open, neither will be picked. It will be Johanna taken as the first pick. I did predict
correctly, and they will pick Johanna.
Now the ball's in the side of Lucky Play's court. Are they willing to play Zul? Because prior to the rework, most teams were not willing to play Zul, which is completely fair, not a very common hero in the meta, but he's so strong now. You need to be willing to play him. Please. No, they do opt into their comfort picks. We see Vlad again picking up ETC, showing us why the Gauge is banned, and Malfurion. And this is just going back and forth now. Are we going to see Rexar and Zul picked up here by the
The rest of this draft is going to be, is it Rexar and Zul? No.
Yes!
Oh, this is Zul.
Okay,
yes.
we do
Now we
see
can only
Zul,
say, is it Rexar on the other side?
Peloki opting into Veigar, not one of his normal two heroes. Rexar still being left up. Where is the bear and his orc friend going to go? This is likely a Bloodlust Veigar. Just going to try and empower the Zul as much as possible with the Curse Strikes, and it is very good that we see this, looking to play around the OP pick of the Zul as well as they can. This Kael'thas ban is a bit of a surprise. It's not really in theme with what we've seen so far from the side of the Deers. We're looking at how to gauge comps. We're looking to see.
We have seen Gabbins play the Kael'thas already on this map. Rexar gets banned. It's a valid ban.
We've seen Gaben play the Kael'thas, but we're looking for extremely hard engage for the rest of what we see from the Deers. We're looking for Greymane. We're looking for Kerrigan. We're looking for these sort of extremely aggressive heroes that are able to dive in, follow up on the Zul route, because before level 7, Malfurion will not have the cleanse to remove it. Li Ming could also work. Li Ming, however, struggles around the objective. It's quite difficult to get your magic missiles and arcane orbs through the Shrine Guardians. I like these two pickups though. From the side of Lucky Play, Falstad and Leoric are pretty decent this gauge. Blaze was an option though, and he has some of the best engage we could have seen. And Lunara and Hanzo, they jump
really
again.
Only plays one hero.
He only plays
Lunara.
And Zul has been forced into the offlane, which I find, unless of course it is for Lunara up there again, which is possible. But I'm very surprised by these two picks. It's, as I said before, not quite in theme of what we saw with the rest of them, but it looks like we're going to be seeing a bit more of a defensive Zul.
And Jaina.
Strange that is to say. And Jaina will be Lucky's last pick, see what he is able to do here. And now, Lunara is very nice against these sort of short-range mages. You got the Leaping Strike to get rid of any RTC. You've got the Greater Spell Shield at 13 to deal with the burst. So Jaina just going to be looking to go and wail on the Zul for the most part. That seems to be the easiest target for Lucky to burst down, and we will see, because I'm hoping this is a Bloodlust, even though we don't have the hardest of engage from the Deers. Zul is just so strong when he gets that additional attack speed, because of course he doesn't really get that until he will kill everything. When he has Bloodlust, he will just have his Curses strikes up almost the entire time. It has a 2-second cooldown, I believe, once he gets his cooldown reduction for it through a talent. Now it's game number 3. On the blue side is Gaben playing the Hanzo, Kuroki playing Rhaegar, me playing the Zul, Saphiro back on tank playing Johanna, and Legion for the 3rd game in a row playing the Lunara.
Alright, and on the right side we have Lucky Play with Phoenix on Falstad, Abels on Malfurion, Vladik once again on ETC, and Lucky on Jaina, and in the top we have Benzo Bear on the Leoric.
And we don't know quite yet who we are going to see up matching that Leoric by the side of the Deers. Currently they have a 5-stack in the middle wave, just looking to clear that. Easy peasy, Spectral Sight and the Condemn will do the job just nicely, and will again be now heading up into the front, out of the front. And I do like this, in the sense that means that Zul gets to stay with his team, able to do the wave clear. I don't think you should be tanking the old cold attacks first, or now. You do want to be looking to kite away from these melee heroes as the deer. Now,
They have monster wave clear in the full man of the deer.
this is very similar to what we saw in the first game. This time, instead of it being Johanna and Kalthas as Johanna, in fact, it can just be Zulba looks at Johanna just looking to make sure the siege camp does not get contested, going to smack Vladek with a few of his auto attacks and pick up the siege camp very quickly on the side of the deers. Now with priority, see if they want to go for a potential invade to Lucky Play. They have midwave cleared out. Safiro is making his way down, possibly going for it, going to get rooted and having to back off the siege camp now on the side of Lucky Play.
I mean, level 4 is getting closer and closer here for Deers. So with that talent advantage, they are already opting for the bottom camp, which they are uncontestedly going to pick up.
Indeed, level 4 now, Lucky Play, respecting the talent spikes that they used so well last game. And now, the bottom camp going over, we might see a triple camp by the blue team now. Because again, the wave clear advantage is so enormous to them, and it's only going to get worse. We do see special scythe build so far from this going into the Reaper's Toll. Looking to get more of those special scythes to help with a little bit of wave clear. Not as crazy as the Cursed Strikes build can be though.
Alright, so far we also see the Q build coming out from Hanzo. That's going to be crazy shrine clear as well. I think it's going to be really hard for Lucky Play to ever get one shrine. Like, they have to take a fight straight away and get a few kills. Else, I just think that Deers just have such dominant shrine clear.
And they're not currently in position to go onto the shrine. Leora is going to have to clear away this cruiser camp before too much happens. If we just have an invade onto the siege camp, it's 5 vs 4 at the moment, and it will be the siege camp going the way of the Deers. This is such a strong start for them. Also, Lucky, you're level 6, bud. You need to choose a talent. You're running out of time. It's getting quite late to choose your level 4 talent at this point, but at the moment, the shrine going so quickly over to the side of the Deers, just using their wave clear really nicely. They're going to get it in 4 spawns of the Shrine Guardian, which is the fastest you can go. 636, 336 rather, is when the objective gets picked up so quickly after spawn. Now we're going to have to see Zul, after clearing midway, go up towards the top side. Benzo not going to slow the rotation, just going to push instead. I would like to see him slow down, but in the bottom side,
you want to see that double duo of Soak being picked up here, but they do manage to save the fort here. Deers, they back off. Their camp will be spawning pretty soon, so I might see them going for that, or maybe get a rotation to the top lane.
We do see that. Hold on a second. That goes in for a slide on Johanna. We do see that Balsam is on W build. Speaking of which, he's onto the Hanzo, but nothing more can of it. And since there's no real auto attacker on the side of Lucky Play, I do like this pickup on the Soul, going for the walls, giving him even more survivability, especially against the spell damage with his bone armor. And here's an interesting one. We have Ice Flows picked up by Jaina, getting the cooldown reduction when using the Cone of Cold against the chill targets. I'm assuming this is a pick specifically against Zul, because we have quite a lot of melee focus from the side of the Deers, potentially just going to go for several Cone of Colds one after another in team fights thanks to this talent. It's nice to see that the players are not just going for default builds over and over, and they both sides are reacting to what the other team has picked up. And now they're just pushing on the bottom side. Is making quite a bit of damage. We'll be able to work it out. As York is finding himself a D, he's going to pick up this experience on the top lane. Close to level 10 now are both of the teams, and just backing away now as Vladek.
Yeah, Falstad meanwhile putting a lot of damage onto the Lunar. Leoric rotates down, pick up that XP, and there's our level 10 for Lucky Play. We
See for
don't
anything
see
to do
Entomb.
anything. Oh, this is a really
See
interesting
much
play
of the
we have.
Black King. That's an interesting pick.
Without the tomb, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to find picks, but who would they be going to find picks on anyway? Lunara, Johanna, just have to look out. Not sure if that's the Master of Black King you look for though, Benzo. Just going to use it to walk away from the rotation. Diaz is now going into the second shrine of the game, and we'll see what comes of this one. All the heroics look pretty standing set, but Johanna's not picked up her heroic ability just yet. Actually, sorry, I should correct myself. Bloodlust was not taken, and we do have Ancestral Hero. By the way, Veigar not going for the Truly Empowered Zul, which makes sense since we're not seeing the Curse of Strikes build out of him. Now, Lucky making a little bit of a run back, will be hit by a Blessed Shield. Now, Finny flying in, we're going to have ourselves a 5v5.
There's the roots. Johanna, really nice ancestral healing. Vladek does get a double mosh here, is really low. Abels walks forward for the Twilight Dream. That is the end of Rhaegar, and Maya is going to follow suit here. Really good team fight actually for Lucky Play.
Exactly. He does pay for his life, but Vladek managed to find 2 people in the mosh pit and will be a good fight for them so far as they move around to the shrine, taking quite a bit of damage though from Hanzo. Is Benzo there? He's going to have to use the Oswald Renewal to heal on up, but this shrine looks like it will be going outside of Lucky Play, and we're having a much more competitive game than the previous 2, which were both one-sided. This one so far being pretty back and forth.
Alright, so now Lucky Play getting the objective, putting themselves ahead in the XP. This is interesting.
Not opting to push with Protector really hard, but New York has to clear top.
No, I mean they are losing structures on both sides of the map that they should probably go and defend. There's the Dragon's Arrow, Blessed Shield on top. There's the Gust though. Really nice Gust from Phoenix.
Carefully timed as well to make sure that Lunara was in strike. While they didn't make anything happen with it, they were able to possibly look for a play onto the deer, all isolated since everyone else stopped back.
Yeah.
We do see some more interesting talents coming out. We have Unyielding Despair. New York opting into the Drain Hope build, it looks like, instead of the conventional Wraithwalk build. And see, because now they don't have the damage reduction of the Leoric, just how well this late game is going to go. Instead, the Leoric will be pretty tanky. Going to have Drain up quite often. It should be easy for him to hit that onto the Zul, and now I think a little bit of fires on the bottom side, but nothing much is going to come over just yet.
Mai maybe looking to get a flank here. They do spot him and they back off.
Now rotating to the middle to clear out the siege camp. The siege camp of Lucky Play is still up though, but for now, just going to have a quick rotation towards the bottom side. The Echoes of Death by Zul will be able to take out the fort, easy peasy. And now looking to get the siege camp here. Lucky hiding just behind the wall here, off vision. Leoric is here, Volstad is not yet though. So currently at 45, here comes Volstad, Vladek on the point. Taking so much damage.
And that's a beautiful interrupt onto the mosh pit, though. Mai still sustaining on the point, even though he has the hand of Leoric on him. Phoenix gets to roll out, and he gets to make it out alive. But this was really, really good invade from Deers.
Well played by the Deers, but a few mistakes made by the side of Lucky Play. Vladek again gets the mosh pit off when it's already kind of low, not able to get too much with it, and Lucky extremely deep, running into all the members of the Deers and going to get himself deleted as a result of it. 15-15 still in the XP set, still a close game, but
Mhm.
very convincing fights going over to the Deers. Now sieging the mid and the top at the moment. Zul looks like he's going to be able to get the top, no problem. The middle Impalers will be able to get cleared out. Level 16 on the horizon for the teams going to be looking to see just how much we can get done here. Level 16 onwards, I think that we're just going to see the side of the Deers outscale with Lunar and the Hanzo later on. Just so obnoxious is level 16 Hanzo. Explosive piercing arrows are very short on the objective. Both the teams now being level 16. Flag getting side onto two, nothing can come of it.
Alright, but
Oh,
you
it's
see
an
the
enormous arrow!
beautiful arrow, immediately blows up Abel's. Sadly, March of the Black King doesn't really connect to anyone. The hand does connect though, and that keeps Benzo alive long enough, and that means it's the end for Lunar. Gavins, nice cleanse, nice. And so walks forward, gets the slow onto Lucky, onto Phoenix. There is no gust available, so you have to be super careful. They cannot turn with the marsh. There is nothing left to be done here. Phoenix does do really weird barrel roll and dice as well, and Vladik is the last one that remains alive.
Gavin is putting on a clinic with this Hanzo. They don't even need Johannes level 16 to win that fight, the way he's playing a 4-man arrow to start off, putting up Fury. And then picking off everyone with the Stormbow. Doesn't even have his quest finished yet, but doing so much damage. Really good performance by him so far this game, man. Almost single-handedly winning his team of that team fight just now. The Punisher will be going over to the side of Deers. They will be taking their Impaler camp before finishing it off. Going to hold on just for now. So they will finish off just now. So we have Siege Camp pushing the middle fort. We have the Siege Camp and the Punisher pushing down towards the bottom keep. Looks like Deer's going to make themselves a little bit of a pit stop, clear out the mid fort, and then by the time that's done, they're ready to push on the bottom keep. This is very good by them, maximizing the amount they're able to get from their one team fight.
And there comes the Punisher. Gust immediately comes out though. I don't think that was very necessary, as Vladi got cleansed perfectly and he was able to walk away.
They might regret using that arrow for cleanse and the Gust though, because now potentially have to go onto them other Deers.
The Yorick trying to occupy the back line, eats the Dragon Arrow, so that is down, but so is Leoric, and Vladik is looking low. Will most likely actually die. Yes, he will. So that is the keep going down. Can they end here is the question.
Too many resources to defend against the Punisher jump over, and it costs the lives of both of the frontliners of Lucky Play. Now going onto the core are the Deers. They should have enough to do this. 2 levels up with the Impaler camp. They've got the numbers advantage they need. Going down 15%, 10%, and it will be Given falling at the very end, but 2-1 victory for the Deers as they move on into the grand finals to face up against Hyde. Don the Fedoras. Well, they might need to be hiding their Fedoras if we see this level play come out from Gavin again. Absolutely the MVP of this game, honestly. Not even just off that last fight. His arrows, they're all so good, honestly. Setting up so much for his team, dealing the damage necessary. And it's good to see that this team is indeed winning plays off. Took a few games for them to be poked enough and finally show they're willing to play it. And they are able to do very well with Zul. Top Siege, top XP. Not even the offlane on top XP shows just how well this Zul is able to perform. Please be willing to first pick this hero if you are playing at the moment. He is so strong.
Yeah, that he is. Alright, I think we'll be heading into a short break.
So playing tears, how lucky. Well done, Ruby.
I just said that I'm not even sure, but
That was an
then we will be
excellent
moving into the
pun.
grand final.
Yeah, we will be
Yeah.
taking a short break
Okay.
before the finals, so I will be leaving us. I want to go to sleep though. It is almost 6:30, and in our grand finals, we'll be having Donna's first Diaz, and we will be back shortly.
Yeah, we will be back shortly as we are setting up carries, and then we are starting the grand finals of the Legendary Cup. 10 to 15 minutes is being said by Transparent in the chat, and that is absolutely. So don't go anywhere. Stay here because the grand finals are coming.